So what we're going to do is we're going to make some UP pasties, original UP pasties. So we've got some onions, we've got some carrots, we have rutabaga, we've got our pie crust, we've got our meat, we've got our potatoes, put some garlic in there, some other herbs and spices. We'll get everything cut up, get everything ready, we'll fold them in, we'll bake them off, and we'll have some actual UP pasties. So let's get started. Let's cut up the vegetables. What I do is I like to basically cut my stuff very small. Some people like them in big chunks for their pasties. I like them small. You cut them how you want to cut them. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm doing the potatoes. And what you want to do is make sure you skin your potatoes. If you was to use little red potatoes, you probably could leave the skins on them. But I'm going the cheap way, which this is basically what everybody does. So you're just basically trying to get them real small, because I like them like 1/4 inch by, or maybe 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So that's where that is at this point. Then we'll get everything cut. We'll get everything in the bowl here. I put olive oil in the bowl, and I'll put my herbs and spices and everything in. I'll get everything all mixed up. I'll let the flavors marinate maybe for like an hour, and then I'll go ahead and put them in the pie crust, and I'll go ahead and bake them off. And we'll try to get you this recipe: 8 potatoes and 1 rutabaga and yada yada yada, a couple onions. You can vary it how you want it, but it makes about 8 pasties. So that's where we're at. We're going to do the same with the meat. We're going to cut it up in real fine pieces. This is a cheap cut of meat. It's not that great, but we're going to brown it first, and then when you bake it off, it's going to get good and tender. So, you're not worried about the cut of meat being a super great cut of meat. You can also substitute it with chicken. I did forget to mention that in the potatoes, these are the potatoes, like I said, I do them really fine. You can also use sweet potatoes, but I'm going the old traditional style pasty from the Michigan's UP, so I'm not substituting anything, but you could do that. You could substitute sweet potatoes and they would be better for you. Here's the rutabaga. We'll cut this down and we'll do this real fine also, and then our carrots, of course. And I've got a lot of spices in here, and like I said, we'll get in here once we get everything in here. We'll get in here with our hands, mix it all up, and then it'll get some great flavors. Then we'll put them, portion it out, and we'll fold them in and then bake them. So stay tuned. Well, as you can see, we're going to brown everything up here a little bit and brown our meat. We'll use a little olive oil, a little salt and pepper in here, pre-brown that, and then we can put that in with our pasties. Well, we cut up our onions, we've cut up our potatoes, we got the rutabaga all in there, and basically we're now doing carrots. The best is to go with the full bag of carrots, the whole carrots. They're cheaper instead of the baby carrots, but you can do whatever you want. I'm very, very frugal, as you've seen with all my videos, so I'm going to do it with the regular carrots. Use the peeler, pull them down, cut them up small. So carrots are next, to put those in. The meat. Alright, what I did was the actual pastry and everything is I did it the cheap way. I got these at the grocery store. $2 gets me 4 of them, so I can make 4 of the pasties. You can make your own, which I've done. I just was a little bit pressed for time. Everything's been cut. Everything's in here. Looks great. I put some parsley in here. You don't have to, but we had some left laying around. I figured I'd use it. You want to get in there, get everything all mixed up. I use the meat separate, put that in separate as I make these. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to lay out our pastry, and we're going to actually put these in there. A handful and a handful of meat, and we'll put them over and get them set on there for the baking. Okay, the idea is to roll it out, and then what we'll do is we're just going to put a handful of stuff in here. It's going to be a little tough to do with just doing it by hand, but we'll try to make it work here. I'm going to put some meat in here, and then we're basically going to roll this over. Like I said, it's really tough to do with only the one hand here. Try and get everything in there. We'll do the same. We'll roll this up, pinch it, I'll show you the next one will be a little better because without a camera person, it's hard to do. But that is basically it. There. What I'll do is I'll scoop that up, I'll put it in the pan, and then I'll make some more. And you'll see some better ones when we get them in the pan. But it's the best I can do with just my doing it by hand with just running the camera too. So let me get right back to you. Okay, this is a little better, a little bit more how they should look. You try to make them the best you can, but if I was to make my own dough, it would probably be a lot better. But this is what I got to work with, so it makes it work. They'll still be yummy. And as you can see over here, we've got 2 here. We'll put 2 more. They'll be ready for baking. Okay, we set our timer to 350 bake. We put them in roughly about 50 minutes. And there's our pasties. They're looking really good. They're darkened up. You could put a little butter on the top. You could have put a little egg wash on there, which would have given them a nice golden brown. But they turned out, just fine. So we're going to pull them out here in about a few more minutes, and we will have pasties. Okay, here's our UP pasties, 4 of them done up, and they're ready to go. Slide one onto a plate. Usually they're served with gravy or ketchup. The traditional is gravy. That's the UP's always says they've always used gravy on their pasties, but you can also put ketchup on it. So there we are. We're going to not try and make up about another dozen of them here in the next couple days. So there we have them.